This is where the third ages were having a meal down in this pub just there, which doesn't look like the greatest place on earth. It's probably cheap. I think they've got pretty good reviews actually for the food. So yeah, I guess it's the old thing. Maybe you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Just because next to Dan Murphy's doesn't mean it's going to be necessarily a bad place. But I've seen some sketchy characters around here. Short time that I've been shopping here, so I guess I've got a jaundiced opinion. Anyway, that all went very smoothly. And guess what? There were no large bottles. The 1 litre bottles just seemed to have disappeared. They're out of stock. And maybe they've had to bring down the price of the 700 mils because they are getting so many complaints from customers because they wanted to buy the larger ones when the differential was really great. They actually, I think it's 55 for the large ones, and then they put the 700 mil ones up to, I think, about $45 or something, or maybe even 50. It might have been 50 bucks. So, you know, for an extra $5 you get an extra 300 mil. So it was a really good deal. But they've just sold out of the litre bottles now, and so no problem. Like I say, I'm still saving 33%. You've got to be savvy with your purchases, I think. The stock market's certainly been really ruthless this week. It's taken a hell of a hit. I bought a couple of stocks that immediately went to profit, and I could have taken a profit 2 days later, which would have been pretty good. I think it would have been about $500, including the brokerage, so it wasn't bad. But I've hung on to them. I don't know if that's a smart move, because the market also died once again on Friday after recovering on Wednesday and Thursday. So it's a very fragile stock market at the moment, and it's all based on good news from America economically. So work that one out. Because that's, people are so worried about interest rate rises, and which makes sense, because when you've got a lot of Australia's wealth is based on housing ownership, and if you've got a mortgage, especially if you bought an investment property, and you see your interest rates go up just a few percent at the moment, that could be, you know, just a few percent could almost be like a doubling in your costs. So very, very highly geared, and in theory, a central bank could easily cause a housing crash if they just pushed interest rates up too quickly, because there's going to be a lot of people scrambling to pay back those loans. They've really worked on the basis that these interest rates are virtually permanent, and nothing's permanent in this world. But could be long term, because in Japan they had over a decade of, well, maybe 2 decades, I think it was this incredibly long period of stagnation where the interest rates were flat as a tack, and that wasn't good for their economy. But they, I think they've come out of it, but it, you know, like a couple of decades of that is not pleasant, and I think the rest of the West now has caught up with them with the low interest rates, and it's going to take a long time to wash this debt out, because we're so averse to the pain of having a recession these days. I'll do anything to avoid that. And of course, there's technology as the new changer too. That's another big problem though, and is the self-driving vehicles, which I believe are going to definitely happen, because in long haul trucks and what have you, you'll see them take over, because the productivity are greater. It means that the governments have to spend less on highway maintenance, because they're more efficient when they operate that way. It's got a lot of pluses, but the big downside is that the largest slab of male employment these days is in transport, specifically driving. And if those jobs go, you think we've got unemployment now, mate. Kurt Vonnegut's player piano scenario may finally come true after many years of being predicted, where automation would take manual labour, and it's looking like it could well happen now. well, going on my previous experience, I shouldn't have to wait too long for the next bus to turn up, so I won't make this too long until I come up with any other jungle. Oh, that's probably it there. I can't see, but it probably is. But I better make it clear to them I'm waiting for them. Everybody does sort of signal the buses just to make sure that they do stop. I don't know how necessary it is, but you're kicking yourself if the thing drove straight past because you didn't bother putting your hand out or something, whatever. Trouble in my case is I can't see the buses coming until they're really close. So we'll see how it goes. A bit worried about how I'm going to find the places I've booked, especially Airbnb places when I'm on the road. Main reason is I've never been there before, and it'll be during the night. I'm flying at night, so I'll be turning up at night, and in the first two legs I've never been to either of these places. The second one's going to be easier to find than the first, but the one in Bali could be a challenge. We'll see. Anyway, well, it shouldn't be a problem. The taxi driver should know where I'm going, but I won't have a SIM card to contact the host. So, well, look, you know, worst comes to worst, I'll just have to get some help from somebody around the area. It doesn't look like a dodgy part of town anyway. It looks like I'm staying in Denpasar, not far from the airport, in Kuta, near one of the beaches. It faces the on the eastern seaboard, and that one of those down that part. It's about a couple of blocks from the beach, and like I said, it looks like a reasonable area, but I haven't been able to find out how far the shopping centre is from it. That's a fair distance, I think, but I'm going to have virtually the whole day to explore the area, so it won't be. Now that looks like my bus. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever, and either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.